It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. Boy, there's excitement in the studio today. We're into the semifinals. We're getting very close to the championship match in this year's elementary school competition. The two schools here today will be vying to be the first of two semifinalists. They are just terrific. Let's meet them right now. Joining us from Capitol Heights, Atticus is here. Great player. Captain of the team, Dwayne, he's ready. He knows everything. Nicholas is a great assist over there too. He also is a terrific player. They're playing against Yorktown Elementary School in the matching shirts over there. You guys have matching shirts too. Leah's here with us today. Leah waved everybody. Jocelyn is here. And Ethan is here too, another outstanding player on Science Bowl. The 6 categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl are these.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing, and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's science potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here in the Science Bowl, our game board reflects question difficulty. Easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10. Tougher ones, 15, 20, ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds today, one of these 2 outstanding schools will be the first of 2 finalists in this, our 38th year of competition. Let's make sure everything's working properly. Let's go to that red team. Dwayne, try that buzzer, young man, if you would. All right. Good luck to you, Atticus and Nicholas. And Leah, how about the green team? That looks good. It sounds good. Good luck to you guys over there, Leah, Ethan, and Leah. All right, I have to say congratulations. You don't get here without a lot of work, a lot of study, a lot of great help from your sponsors and your principal, the backing of your school. So let's have a good game. May the better team win. We go alphabetically C before Y. So Capitol Heights and Dwayne, let's play.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points. Here's your question. It's a visual question. Look at the monitor, please, in the studio. The famous Blue Lagoon Spa in Iceland that you're looking at here is naturally heated by volcanic magma just beneath the surface. A kind of heat described by this G initial name. Capitol Heights.
Geothermal.
Geothermal is correct. Yes, indeed. Good. Good start. Capitol Heights. Go.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25 points. Interesting question. Palm trees can bend and sway even in the strongest winds because they don't have any secondary xylem.
Branches?
Not branches, no. I'll repeat for Capitol Heights. Palm trees can bend and sway even in the strongest winds because they don't have any secondary xylem, meaning there is none of this on the outside of the tree.
Bark.
They don't have bark. And you're also right, they don't have branches. But that was not quite what we were looking for this time. Go red.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo for 25 points. Here's the big one in that category. Another visual question. Look at the monitor again, please, players. While it looks like blood, the red liquid found on a hippo is actually a mucus with SPF properties, meaning it keeps the hippos from getting what? Yorktown.
Sunburn.
Sunburn, absolutely right. Good. Natural sun protection fluid. Go.
Let's get physical for 20.
Physical for 20 points. Question is as follows. A chemical's atomic number is equal to the number of these positively charged Capitol Heights.
Protons.
Protons that you find in the nucleus. Yes, indeed. Good plan, guys. Go red.
Body systems for 25.
Body for 25 points. Heart murmurs occur when these V initial trapdoors, Capitol Heights.
Ventricles.
Not ventricles, no. Yorktown, let me repeat it for you. Heart murmurs occur when these V initial trapdoors between the heart chambers don't close properly, causing the blood to regurgitate.
Valves.
Valves is the correct answer. Yes, good. Got yourself 25 more points there. Go Yorktown.
Let's get physical for 25.
Physical for 25 points. Big one in that category. The panel that blew off the Alaska Airlines plane in midair was found to have bolts that weren't properly tightened. Bolts are very similar to another kind of fastener that is, yes, Yorktown.
Screws.
Screws, yeah. It is a simple machine. Nicely done. Go green.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. Question. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance, while a group of these black and white African equines let me repeat for Yorktown.
Wait.
A group of, what do you have for me?
Murder.
No. You're talking about a murder of crows. Yorktown. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance, while a group of these black and white African equines is called a dazzle.
Pandas.
Zebras. Zebras are equines or horse-like animals. No points. We didn't expect that with a 5-pointer. All right, Yorktown, go again. You have a 5-point lead, 125 to 120. Go again, Leah.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Well, hemoglobin makes our blood red. If you look at the veins on the back of your hands, you think we have
Blue.
blue. You'd think we'd have hemocyanin in there instead of hemoglobin. Thank you, Nick, for your assist there. It is blue, the answer. We have a tie score, 125 all. Go red.
Dateline science for 25.
Dateline for 25 points. Chatbots are AI programs that seem like real people, but they're not. They use one of these A initial sets of instructions, capital Heights. Let's go to Yorktown. Yorktown. Chatbots are AI programs that seem like they're real people, but they're not. They use one of these A initial sets of instructions for solving a problem to mimic us, predicting what words should follow what other words.
Algorithm.
Algorithm is what I want. Good answer. Good. Go green.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Here's that question. I love this question. Inside the upper portion of a pigeon's beak is a tiny piece of this magnetic element that lets even blindfolded pigeons find their way using the Earth's magnetic poles. A piece of what? Capital Heights. You may answer.
Iron.
Iron is correct. Yes, indeed. All right. And that buzzer says we've come to the end of the first round. Close game. Capital Heights 130, Yorktown 150. Lots at stake here. We'll be back in a moment. And welcome back to Science Bowl. You're looking at the best of the best among our elementary schools, schools that have been here a number of times this year, and you can see how close this game is, going back and forth here. And I imagine it's going to continue in the second half. Let's find out a little bit about our players. Let's go to Capitol Heights. Dwayne, tell us, if you would, who the VIPs are at Capitol Heights, other than you guys, your principal and your coach and your alternates.
Our principal is Miss Berry, and our coach is Miss Nagaya. Our 2 alternates are Kalia and Amani.
Wonderful. And Capitol Heights is a phenomenal school. You told us it's a tag magnet school. What are some of the things, some of the extracurriculars you have available other than Science Bowl?
We have art club, we have Science Bowl, and we also have Mesa.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Tell me about your plans, what you want to do someday.
I want to become a computer engineer or an NBA player.
Wonderful. What team would you play for if you could sign up today?
I don't know.
You don't know. You don't know. Just so somebody gives you a ball and says, we're going to pay you $5 million, go play. Yeah, that's right. It hardly makes the difference there. Thanks, Dwayne. Nicholas, nice to have you here. Tell us Now, I remember from before, you have your own business. And I know your mom is a businesswoman, so she's there to help you with that. And do you hope to be a business person when you grow up?
Yes.
Yes. It's the American dream. You know, you're trying to find something that everybody needs. What are the things that you're selling?
We sell art, technology, and we are going to sell food and drinks soon.
So is some of it online and some of it is in person?
Yes, we're doing both, but we're trying to focus right now on in-person since we don't have the funds yet.
Right, and if it's drinks and food, of course that can be delivered, but you're not at that point either. But you're growing. I like that. I like that. Why'd you want to be on this show, Nicholas?
Mainly because I love science, mostly plants and animals, and I wanted to learn more about science.
I'm glad you said that, because we're here to find out what you know, but I hope you take away from some of these questions additional information, you know, and use that to enhance your love of science. Thanks for that, Nicholas. Atticus, I know you do lots of things. You told me last time you might want to be, among all the things you aspire to be, is a florist. How'd you get interested in that?
So one time I was watching my mom making a wreath for a door, and it looked pretty interesting, so she said I could help her, so I picked out some flowers, and it was really fun. And so that got me kind of interested in it.
I think that's great. And, you know, as I said last time you were here, giving flowers is wonderful. You know, it's a wonderful gift, and if you have a talent, some people are very talented. Something else you might want to think you want to do, other than florist.
Help Nicholas with his business. He's like my best friend, so.
That's a business partner over there, Nicholas, yeah. All right, thank you, Atticus. Let's go to Yorktown. Leah, tell us about the people at Yorktown. They were here earlier. They're all wearing the same shirts. Yeah, you guys are a real tight-knit group. Tell us who they are.
So our coach is Coach Amy, our sponsors, Miss Burnett, our principal is Dr. Aiken, who got married over spring break, and our alternate is Abby.
Wonderful. They'll be out in just a few moments' time here. You are so comfortable here on stage. Do you ever participate in school plays?
We don't have any plays, but I'm going to look in the summer for drama classes.
Yeah, I can see that. You would be a natural at that. Tell me why you wanted to be on our show.
I wanted to be on the show because I'm really interested in science, and one of the careers I want to do is involving science.
Wow. They'll be lucky to get you, yes. This is just the first step in a science career. I feel that. Nice to have you back. You're a great captain. Ethan, tell us about yourself. What do you do in your spare time?
I swim and I do martial arts.
You do? How long have you been swimming?
Like forever.
Forever, yeah. I'm a swimmer too, and it's like I'm most at home in the water. So you swim competitively. What's your best event?
100 back.
Yeah? And where do you swim?
Bayside Aquatics.
Wonderful, okay. And someday, what you gonna do?
Aerospace engineer.
Yeah, and I asked him before if he wanted to fly. He said no, he's just gonna design the things, right? Yeah. Do you have a favorite plane now that you think, boy, I wish I had designed that one?
I mean, most planes are really cool. Engineering marvels, you know, you can get all of that and all that stuff into the air.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Bernoulli's principle, you know, to get that lift underneath, and they're thinking about bringing the supersonic transport back, you know, and that was a plane that you could fly from London to New York in 3 hours. It was just amazing. Nice to have you back. Jocelyn, tell us the Jocelyn story. You do a lot of stuff. What do you do in your spare time?
I study for science, well, definitely. I play soccer. I am a Girl Scout. I play the piano and the violin.
Wow. You're busy. You need a social secretary to keep you straight every single day. What do you want to do someday?
I'm thinking of many different things. I might want to work for NASA. I might want to be a teacher or a veterinarian.
Yeah, I can see you as a teacher. You have great empathy with people. Let's get back into the game. 150 Yorktown, 130 Capitol Heights. Last correct answer came from the red team. So, Dwayne, let's go.
Science potpourri for 20.
Science potpourri for 20 points. A recent Google Doodle featured Casimir Funk, someone you've never heard of, a Polish biochemist who was the first to discover essential nutrients for good health. He called them vital amines, which was shortened to what one word? Yorktown.
Vitamins?
Vitamins, that's right. Came up with vitamins, absolutely right. Go green.
Science potpourri for 5, please.
Potpourri for 5. The National Basketball Association team in Oklahoma City wanted to call themselves the Tornadoes because tornadoes occur oftentimes in Oklahoma City. They opted and said for another T-initialed phenomenon, Capitol Heights.
Thunder.
The Thunder, that's it, good. Yeah, he wants to play basketball. He knew the Thunder. Good, go.
Body systems for 20.
Body for 20 points. It is said you should keep your eye on the ball, your nose to the grindstone, and this joint that lets you put your arm above your head to the wheel. Yorktown.
Shoulder.
Shoulder is right. Yes, indeed. Good. I could see those ideas percolating over here. Nicely done. Go green.
Dateline for 5, please.
Dateline for 5. The last time these top medals at the Olympics were made of pure metal was in 1908. Leah.
Gold?
Gold, yes. Back then they were pure gold. Now they are an alloy. They're mostly silver, truth be known. Go again, green.
Green things for 5.
Green for 5. The thin, pointed leaves found on most coniferous trees have the same name as the sharp part of a syringe. Capitol Heights.
Needle.
Needles is right. That's it, Dwayne. Good. All right. Go red.
Green things for 20.
Green for 20 points. The sprig of mistletoe that people hang in their houses at Christmas, you're supposed to kiss underneath it, is actually one of these kinds of plants that gets its food by stealing it from a host plant. Capitol Heights.
A weed.
Not a weed, not a weed. Since it gets its food by stealing it from a host plant, that mistletoe is known as this kind of plant.
Parasitic.
Yes, parasitic, absolutely right. Good, go, green.
Zoo parade for 10.
Zoo for 10. Here we go. Fewer animals are diurnal, active during the day, than those that are this, active at night, Yorktown.
Nocturnal.
Nocturnal is correct. Yes, indeed. Good.
Let's get physical for 10, please.
Physical for 10 points. Here we go. The numbers on this scale measure an earthquake's magnitude. Yorktown.
Richter scale.
The Richter scale, yes. The one that hit Nepal was 5.6. We had an earthquake up in New York City just recently here. Go again. 235 to 140. Green team, go.
Science potpourri for 10, please.
Potpourri for 10. Crocodiles will often swallow stones called gastroliths to keep them from rolling to the side underwater and to help them digest big meals. What do you want to tell me? Let's repeat for Capitol Heights. These crocodiles who swallow stones called gastroliths keep them from rolling to the side underwater, and it helps them digest big meals because crocodiles don't do this before swallowing.
Chew.
Chew, they don't chew, so they need something down there to grind, and that's what the stones are for. Birds do that too. Go red.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20 points. Here's your question. Some of you have pets like lizards and snakes. Breeders of mealworms, a favorite food of pets like lizards and snakes, will often get them to grow bigger and prevent the worms from changing into beetles. What you got? Let me finish for Yorktown. Mealworms, if you're breeding mealworms, you can get them to grow bigger and prevent the worms from changing into beetles by adding a J-initialed hormone to their diet that has the same name as the one that can be followed by delinquent when describing a kid that causes trouble.
Juvenile.
A juvenile. It's a juvenile hormone. It's a Peter Pan hormone. It never grows up. Go, green.
Body systems for 10, please.
Body for 10. This T-initial gland, shaped like a butterfly, wraps around the front of your windpipe.
Thyroid.
Thyroid is right. Yes, sir. Go red.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Here's your question. It was in 2004 that one of these catastrophic waves produced by an
Tsunami,
an undersea earthquake, killed over 200,000 people in 14 countries. Go.
Green things for 15.
Green for 15 points. Gardeners know that the length of the growing season is defined by the last date in the spring and the first date in the fall.
Equinox?
Not the equinox.
Season.
Yorktown. Gardeners know that the length of the growing season is defined by the last date in the spring and the first date in the fall when this cold event occurs.
Solstice.
What is it?
Solstice?
No. Frost. The first frost or the first freeze is what I'm looking for there. Dwayne, you still have the advantage.
Potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. In the winter, indoor air can get very dry. The solution is to get more water vapor into the air by using one of these H initial devices.
Humidifier.
A humidifier is right. Yes, indeed. Good, go.
Zoo parade for 15.
Zoo for 15 points. Here we go. Arboreal animals live in trees. You jumped in too fast. Yorktown, arboreal animals live in trees while natatorial animals with their fins and flippers live here.
In the sea?
In the sea or in the water. Yes, good, go.
Green things for 10.
Green for 10. This L initialed word can describe both a branch on a tree or one of your arms and legs. Yorktown.
A limb.
A limb. A limb is correct. Yes, indeed.
Dateline for 10, please.
Dateline for 10. Let's see how well you know your planets. The first planet discovered with a telescope was this ice giant that is...
Neptune?
Nope. The first planet discovered with a telescope, Capitol Heights, was this ice giant that
Uranus.
is 7th in position from the sun.
Uranus.
Uranus is right. Yes. Go red.
Dateline signs for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. A new kind of glasses called enchroma are letting colorblind people see fall leaves in full glory for the first time. These people suffer from the most common kind of color blindness, the inability to distinguish what two colors. What two colors, Capitol Heights?
Red and blue.
No. Yorktown, what two colors are most often confused if you are colorblind? Hard to distinguish between the two.
Red and green?
Red and green is correct. Yes, indeed. Good comeback. Good. Go.
Body systems for 15.
Body for 15 points. Here's your question. Several NFL quarterbacks saw their season ended this year when they tore this tendon.
ACL. ACL?
No. The tendon, several quarterbacks saw their seasons end when they tore this tendon named for a famously unlucky Greek warrior.
Achilles.
Achilles is right. Yes, indeed. One more question. Let's get physical for 15 points. It is as follows. Something sinks in water because of gravity. But if something floats, it is this B initialed force.
Buoyancy.
Buoyancy is correct. And that brings us to the end of the game. And it looks like Yorktown has prevailed over there. We'll double check that score. We'll be right back with you. Don't go away. What a great match it was today on the Science Bowl. And these 6 players here, actually 6 players plus some extra ones here, have been working very hard all season to be here. Everybody wants to be the champ. But these folks are champions already. We saw that here today. Everybody that's out there watching, you're probably saying to yourself, how do they know so much? Only 2 questions missed, only 2 out of 30. And that tells you exactly how much they've been working, the kind of science students they are. And they're shedding some tears up here. They're naturally upset, those that aren't going to be going on. But we're going to see them again. This will toughen them up. And the next time we see them, we're going to make sure that they're the champs. Our final tally today is Capitol Heights 235, Yorktown 295. Yorktown, you haven't been a county champ since 1998. It may be your year again in this new century. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Ethan said his heart was just beating like crazy. Maybe it still is. Leah, tell us who's back there.
This is our principal, Dr. Aiken, our alternate, Abby, our coach, Coach Amy, and our sponsor, Miss Burnett.
And they worked so hard today. Thank you. We're going to see you in the finals. Absolutely. And Capitol Heights, I know you guys aren't feeling it right now, but there's a lot of love coming your way. So, Dwayne, I know you're a tough guy. You're going to be in the NBA someday. Introduce those folks behind you there.
This is Atticus's brother, Calvin.
Yeah.
This is Nicholas's brother, Sebastian. Yeah. This is our alternate, Kalia. This is our coach, Miss Nagaya. This is our other alternate, Amani. And this is our principal, Miss Berry.
Wonderful. You did a nice job. Nice round of applause for that Capitol Heights team. And Atticus, if you could, for your little brother's sake too, and for us, could you look up so we can see you? We're really proud of you here today. Thank you all for watching today on the Science Bowl. We'll see you next time. Until then, I'm Dave Zarin. Bye-bye, everyone.